Hello all, welcome back to my tutorial. This is going to be a very short tutorial on how to use variables and how not to use variables. We have already learned why we use variables. Now in this tutorial, let's learn how exactly we can use the nomenclature and how the system will not allow us to use the nomenclature. The system will not allow us to use the nomenclature if we start off with a number. For example, if I say 123 interest equal to 100, and if I click the run button, it will throw an error. So any variable name cannot start with number. Now point number two, any variable name cannot have a space in between. For example, if I say simple interest with a space in between and I say 200 here and I click the run button, it won't allow to assign this value to this variable because this is not even considered as a variable. It is throwing an error because of the space in between. Point number three, we cannot have any symbols in the variable name apart from underscore. For example, if I try something like interest and I put a percentage in all these symbols here and I say equal to 300 and I click the run button, it will again throw an error. However, it allows me to have underscores in the variable name. If I say simple interest equal to 400 and then if I execute this line, it will allow me to successfully save it. I can also have numbers in between. I cannot have the numbers at the beginning, but I can definitely have numbers in between the variable name. For example, if I say simple 123 and I say 500 and I click the execute button, it will allow me to execute. So these are how variable names are defined. However, please make note of this point, which I think I've already mentioned in my previous tutorial. The variable names in Python and R are both case sensitive. So simple 123 is different from simple 123. So if I say simple 123 equal to 600 and if I just execute simple 123 and if I try to find the value of simple 123 wherein the simple word is all small letters, it will give me 500. And if I type simple 123 with all the words capital and I click the execute button, it will give me 600. So these are the few things that we have to make note of. And while we name a variable, it would always be good if we try to give a name such a way that it is easy to understand what this variable means. Rather than having x equal to 5, if what we mean is this is the age of a person, we can say age of person equal to say 25. So that we know when we go deep down into our 300, 500,000 lines of code, we know that it is not x, it is age of person. Because the moment we say x, y, z, if you have so many variables in our code, every now and then we have to keep scrolling up and down to see what does x mean or what does y mean. Should I use x now? Should I use y now in my upcoming formula in the code? So that becomes easier for us. So with a proper nomenclature, we don't have to keep scrolling up and down to understand what variable should I use in my next code if I have to use that in some formula. So these are the simple steps that we have to understand. And yeah, there's maybe one difference between R and Python as far as variable names are concerned. We can have a variable name starting with an underscore in Python. If I say underscore interest equal to 800 and I execute, it will allow me to execute and it will assign this value to the variable. However, any variable name starting with an underscore has a different annotation, has a different significance. We shall come to that again in the later tutorials. But this is just to keep in mind. If I try everything else in R, for example, if I say simple interest equal to 300 and I execute this, it gets executed. But if I type simple interest equal to 400 with a space in between, it will throw an error, unexpected symbol. I can also not have variable name starting with numbers 1, 2, 3 simple equal to 500, it will not allow me to take it that ways either. And here also simple interest equal to 600, and I click the execute button. It stores this value, but if you see here, both are different. So the small lettered simple interest is 300 and the capital lettered simple interest is 600. So here also it is case sensitive. And just one other thing that we have to look at, if I want to assign the other symbols, for example, if I say interest and I put all these symbols in the variable name and I execute, or let me just assign some value here, and if I try to execute, we already see it is not getting properly displayed. If I execute this, it will throw an error. However, if I do something like underscore interest equal to 800, just like we tried over here, but if I do the same thing in R, it will still throw an error. Unexpected input in underscore. So this is one minor difference between R and Python as far as defining a variable name is concerned. We shall learn about why in Python we start off with an underscore while defining a variable name in the later tutorials. But that's something which we cannot do in R. It will throw an error. Alright, these are the important points that I wanted to convey in this tutorial. I hope you have now understood how to define a variable and what are the things that we cannot use in a variable. I hope you're liking my tutorial. If you have any doubts, questions, feedback, please do post them in the comment section. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.